41. Ningning tried to open her eyes, but she couldn't. She felt herself floating like a bird soaring into the sky. The air is cold up there, and the wind blows through her hair. She can feel the presence of many people, her friends, neighbors, classmates, people she knows and doesn't know, all going somewhere. Where are they all going? In front of her is a figure floating on the wind, the figure of an old man in a long gray robe. "Grandpa!" she calls out. There is no answer. "Grandpa!" she calls out again at the top of her lungs, but no sound seems to have come out of her mouth. "It's Ningning!" The old man turns his head. "Why?" The old man murmurs in a familiar, soft voice, which sends off a faint, melodious echo in the sky. "It's Ningning. Why are you here?" "I want to go with you," she replies, a rush of joy and sadness in her heart. "Go where?" "To wherever you are going." "I'm going to look for your mama." "Me too, and look for Papa too." "No." Grandpa's voice is gentle but firm. "Go back. It's a long, long journey." "You're angry with me," she cries. "That's why you don't want to take me with you." "No, I'm not angry with you. Just that you are not ready." "When will I be ready, Grandpa?" "In 100 years, maybe." Grandpa chuckles. "That's too long." "We'll all be waiting for you." "But who are we?" "You'll find out. We'll be waiting for you, I promise." The wind has picked up, and Grandpa's words being tossed around more fiercely becomes less clear. "Be strong, and remember, you won't be alone in your world." Grandpa is gaining more speed now, going further and further away, disappearing at last into the mist. She begins to drift back airily, like a snowflake falling to the ground. Ningning opened her eyes. She could feel her fingers move. She wiggled her toes. She began to move her arms and legs, but the pain tore through her again, and she felt its icy grip in every limb. She looked down at her naked body covered with bruises. Beasts! Monsters! What had they done to me? "Grandpa!" she called again. She saw Grandpa lying on the floor, the back of his head covered with messy silver hair. "Grandpa," she whispered, "did you find Mama?" No answer. Grandpa was dead. No, he was not dead. She had just seen him. He was going somewhere where there would be no misery, no suffering, and where he could find Mama and many others who were dear to him. She struggled to sit up, putting her pants back on, not looking at her bruised legs. Grandpa's hands were not cold yet. She put her arms around his shoulders and tried to lift him, but she could not. She tried to turn him over slowly. When she saw his face, tears came rolling down her cheeks again. "If only I hadn't wanted to see. If only." With one hand holding Grandpa's head, she reached for a pillow and rested his head gently on it. On his bed, under the pillow, had been placed the lock of her hair the day that she had cut it. Ningning took the hair and put it in Grandpa's hand, closing his fingers around it. Taking a silk handkerchief from her mother's drawer, she gently laid it across Grandpa's face. She heard a faint rustling sound next to the coffin. He was lucky. He was on the floor. His wings twitched feebly, and his tiny body jerked. Around him several feathers scattered. His eyes still shone in the fading light of dusk. His cage lay on the floor on its side, half smashed. The little door dangled open, hanging from one broken hinge. "Oh, kiddo!" She picked up Lucky, brought him close to her face, felt his soft feathers against her skin, and set him down next to Grandpa. She found 2 incense sticks and a cold steamed bun. She placed them on the nightstand and lit them with a match from the kitchen. She fell to her knees and prayed. Prayed for Grandpa, prayed for Mama and Papa, and prayed for everyone she had known. Her lips kept moving, though nothing coherent came out. Outside, the snow was falling. She had to get out. Ningning felt her way slowly, cautiously, almost tripping over the body lying in a pool of blood by the front door. She didn't stop to look. She didn't want to see. She was in the hallway now, at the top of the stairs. She started down the steps slowly. She was by Auntie Huang's door now. She stepped outside into the cold, wet air of the alley. She felt the snow on her face. She felt it begin to melt away her dry, salty tears on her ink-stained face. More snow fell, covering her hair, the ground, the twigs and branches of the prune tree, so only the purple and pink buds shone through the whiteness. The whole world was drowsing amid the growing dusk, shrouded in a glistening, dawning veil. The fresh snow crunched crisply under her light footfalls. She looked back at her footprints, which wound their way along the alley back to her house. Soon they would all be covered, she thought. She looked behind her again. Everything was quiet. She trudged on, shivering. She had left the alley behind her. Her face, her hands, her feet, her whole body felt so cold. Through the drifting snow, she could see the opening of Ningning Road not too far ahead. She tumbled and fell face first into the snow. Her cheeks stung and she tasted the cold snow. She took a handful of snow and rubbed it all over her face, and another, and another. Looking ahead, she saw only pure, misty white snow falling. With clenched teeth, she struggled to get to her feet, took a few steps, staggered, and fell again. This time, she felt herself falling down dreamily like a snowflake.